And through the miracle of internet technology, we're joining you again. Welcome to the Catalyst Sessions for Thursday. I'm Bill DeYoung from the St. Pete Catalyst. We're keeping our arts community as connected as we can in these uncertain times. Creative Pinellas is an arts organization that's funded in part by the Pinellas County Board of County Commissioners, Visit St. Pete Clearwater, and the state of Florida's Department of State Division of Cultural Affairs. The mission, they say, is to facilitate a vibrant, collaborative, and sustainable Pinellas County arts community and an arts and cultural destination. And this is how they do it. Through grants to artists and arts organizations, programs and activities that focus on education, collaboration and support, marketing and promotion, and future-oriented projects. I like this, focused on the long-term expansion and evolution of our county. Now, these grants, really exciting stuff, include Arts Catalyst. They have a summer camp grant. It's very interesting. Professional artist grants, emerging artist grants, a mentor program, and, which we're going to talk about in just a couple of minutes, the Pinellas Arts Relief Fund. So I want to welcome to the Catalyst Sessions the Executive Director of Creative Pinellas, Barbara St. Clair. Hey, Barbara, are you there?
Yeah. Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. There's a lot to talk about. What I just said was a mouthful of positivity. But what does it all mean? I mean, if I was going to ask you if you could give us your elevator speak. Let's say you're on the 12th floor and you're heading, and somebody says, so tell me about Creative Pinellas, Barbara. Before we get to the first floor, synopsize it. What is it and why does it exist?
So Creative Pinellas is a very innovative arts organization. Our focus is to support the arts and the arts community, to make arts accessible to all, and to uplift and elevate the whole community of Pinellas County through the arts and through creating high quality arts experiences and making them available.
Okay, break that down for me. I mean, there's so many things that you guys do. I know you have a physical gallery and a performance space. I did a reading out there once, which was really fun. And you're all over the county. I mean, are the grants the cornerstone of what Creative Pinellas does, or would you say, hey, there's so much more, let me tell you about
it? Well, I wouldn't mind starting with the grants because I think they really set the stage for a lot of the good work that we do. Yeah. For example, our Emerging Artist Grant, it's a competitive grant. Artists apply. They're Pinellas County artists because our focus is Pinellas County.
Yes.
They're generally artists who are just at that point in their careers where they're ready to take off and they need a door to be open. They need some opportunity. Creative Pinellas provides them some funding. But the really special part of it is we connect them with a mentor, with a professional artist who's really already excelling in their field. And that mentor works with the emerging artist for about 6 months. And they work towards creating new work that we then present at our Emerging Artist Show. We've done the Emerging Artist Show now 3 years. Mm-hmm. And we do it in the gallery. So it's a really wonderful facility to present art. And you don't have to be a visual artist to be part of this grant. You can be a musician, you can be a dancer, a theatrical performer, literary. And then we have our Emerging Artist Show in the middle of May.
Yeah.
And we invite collectors and curators and people who write and talk about art like yourself. And it's really kind of this amazing send-off. We have seen the artists who've been part of this program really just advance in their careers so quickly as if they were on, super turbo jet gas, just take off.
You're doing good things. I wanted to interject though and say that it's not, I'm a mentor and let's say I'm a dancer, which I'm not, folks. You should be thankful. And you're going to pair me with an up and coming dance artist. We're not going to talk constantly about how to do movement. They're also going to talk about making a living as an artist, yes. About the business of being an artist,
yes.
Which you're not born with that knowledge. Artists generally, it's that left brain, right brain thing, have to be taught how to make a business out of it.
So we had a mentor who sat with an artist and helped them develop a business plan.
Hmm.
We had a mentor who took an artist to the library and said, you need to read all of these books. What happens with the mentorship program is we really pair them very individually. We try to find the artist who will bring the most value to that, the mentor artist who will bring the most value to the emerging artist, and the emerging artists who will really enjoy working with that mentor. And so some of the relationships that have created have gone on now for 3 or 4 years. The interesting thing about this one coming up is we are going to do the Emerging Artist Show virtually in a virtual gallery, because
That was going to be my next question. Yeah.
We want to fulfill and have that show on May. So we have this very interesting virtual gallery tour that's kind of almost like a video game. You get to sort of walk around it and turn corners and see what's on the walls. It's not like anything else I've seen. And then should we be able to, we will then have a live show maybe down the road for them.
That's going to be fantastic. I wanted to ask you, you've said numerous times that it encompasses all Pinellas County. So we're talking about Clearwater and Dunedin and Tarpon Springs, as well as St. Petersburg. How specifically, and I know you've heard this before, is Creative Pinellas different from, say, the Arts Alliance, the St. Petersburg Arts Alliance?
Well, we have a lot in common, and Creative Pinellas works very closely with the St. Pete Arts Alliance, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second with the Arts Community Relief Fund.
Right.
But the Arts Alliance, the St. Pete Arts Alliance, that word St. Pete is really, really important. Just as in Creative Pinellas, the word Pinellas is really, really important. We are focused on the whole county, and that, of course, includes St. Pete. St. Pete is a very important part of the art scene in Pinellas County. But the St. Pete Arts Alliance is the borders, the geography of St. Pete really defines that. So we include everybody else in addition to St. Pete. But we work together a lot. We've done quite a number of programs together. We do a summit every year together. And actually, we're partners along with the Pinellas Community Foundation with the Arts Relief Fund that we have just launched and are starting to distribute funds.
This is my segue, yes.
Yeah.
Again, more to the point to today's situation. It was only a week or so ago that you announced the Arts Relief Fund, and this week you're sending out checks totaling what, $55,000?
Actually, when we sent out the press release, it was earlier in the week, and we had approved about $55,000 in grants. We met a second time to continue going through applications, and now it's closer to $100,000. And I have to be very clear, we're sending out the letters that says you are eligible, and people have to go on and fill out a form, and then we have to send the check. So I don't want everybody running to their mailbox tomorrow.
Oh,
but
sure.
Yes, we have approved about $100,000 in grants, and we raised $112,000. I think this idea started being circulated with John Collins from the St. Pete Arts Alliance, Doug Cooley from the Pinellas Community Foundation, and myself on Monday, maybe the 15th or 16th of March. We had a call where we invited arts organizations from throughout Pinellas County on that Wednesday, and by Friday we had a working group, and that was mid-March, and then within days we started reaching out to the community, and the community stepped up amazingly and started funding us. So we went from zero to about $112,000, which is where we are now. We are very committed, though, to continuing the fundraising effort because the need is so great. We were not able to give to approve grants for everyone who's applied. We still have a list of people that we feel would benefit them tremendously to be able to get some of these funds.
Were you surprised that the community, stepped up so quickly? Well, maybe not surprised is the right word, but the arts, that it must be kind of refreshing to go, well, yeah, people understand that this is an essential part of our existence as a community. That must have been nice to see that happen.
It's just so uplifting, and I think it really speaks to a lot of work that a lot of us have done to really help people understand that the arts is an economic driver here in Pinellas County. I've gotten these statistics from the Pinellas County Economic Development Department. creative industry is about $1.8 billion of the economy here, about 3.5% of the economy. So, and it also represents tens of thousands of employees. And I think that was one of the connections that our funders started to make, is that artists make their living, you know, performing or playing music or selling their work. And when you cancel performances and you cancel art walks and you cancel art fairs, that's people's livelihood. Yeah. So I think there was a really deep understanding that it's a vulnerable population, as many of the working people are in our county. And our job, John Collins from the St. Pete Arts Alliance and myself from Creative Pinellas, is to support the arts community. So of course, that was where our energy was for this fund. But as you same as everybody else in terms of how this is impacting them.
As you say, you're still, the coffer is still, the top is still off. You're still accepting donations for this because we don't know how long this is going to go on. Can you talk us through, whoever's going to be watching this, how they donate, and also talk about the artists and what they, you know, the requirements for applying? Can we talk through those things? Yeah.
So you can donate, and I won't be able to tell you the website. I apologize for that. That would be really smart for me to be able to go to the URL. But if you
well, keep talking. I'll look while you're talking.
But you could
this is live, folks.
Pinellas Community Foundation, and that's what's wonderful about working with them. What they do is they manage grants and they manage funds.
Yes, yes, I remember thinking that when you announced this.
That's their expertise, and you can donate through them. In terms of who is eligible, if you're a professional artist who makes a significant portion of your living, you are eligible for a $500 grant. And if you are an arts business or a 501c3 arts organization, then you're eligible for between $500 to $1,500 award. And we included arts businesses because we were starting to look at things like art walk shutting down or gallery shutting down. And we felt that if we were going to be responsive and supportive to the community, we needed to support all the people involved in the arts. So we made it as broad as we possibly could.
I can't, my internet's not working, and of course I couldn't find it. So when we put the recording of this online, we'll put the website there.
Thank you.
And one thing you said, and I want to kind of clarify this too, is it's a process to the application process. You want to get this money distributed as quickly as you can, but you don't want people pounding on the door saying, "Give me money, I need groceries." It takes a little more time than that.
Well, so right now I will share with you that we had so many applications. We have put it temporarily on hold to accept more while we go ahead and process the ones that we have and that bring more funds in. Yeah. Because we are really, believe it or not, we're ramping up the fundraising now.
I believe it. I do.
Yeah. But yes, of course, you submit your application. It takes 2 minutes. We're really just asking who you are and what your need is, and how this has impacted you. And then we have a committee that reviews them, and we have a set of guidelines, and we are sort of focused on making as much money available as to artists and arts organizations and arts businesses in Pinellas County that we are able to, because the way it really struck me is the question is, what kind of landscape do we want when this is all over? And I know I want a landscape that has a vibrant, high impact, exceptional arts community. Yeah. And if we're going to have that when this is all over, we have to find ways to support our arts community today.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And again, if you'd like to donate, which I hope you will, I've got a few bucks sitting here. She's getting it. Or if this is something that may help you, we'll put the website up here, and you could find out how to get involved with the fund. Barbara, I think we've done our interview for tonight. It is such a pleasure to speak to you virtually.
But can I just add one more thing, just like a little to, coming soon. We are in the process of creating a portal where we are going to collect as much arts activities and arts experiences in one place, and people will be able to go online and sort of a one-stop shop for experiencing or listening or seeing or reading arts that come from Pinellas County that you would be able to participate in and enjoy if we weren't in this social distancing environment. So we're creating a one-stop shop portal. We are looking for launching that early next week.
Oh, brilliant. Well,
Yeah.
be sure and send me the information, and I will share it with the many, many folks who read the Catalyst arts coverage. And
we're very excited about it.
That's great news. I look forward to hearing more about that. I do.
Wonderful. You can have me back.
Yes. I think that depending on how long this thing goes, everybody who's a guest on the Catalyst sessions will be back. And I'd love to talk to you again. It's always a pleasure.
All right.
And listen, take care of yourself, and we'll see you down the road.
Well, thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night.